Hey YouTube. So this video today, I want to have a chat with you, and it's a bit of an interesting sort of topic, so to speak, and it's titled as jobs that are far from good but good from afar, and it makes for a rather snappy title, but admittedly what it actually is it's managing expectations for customers. So I'm going to show you a job, hopefully that side or that side even, what I did the other day, and it's a conservatory clean, and admittedly this conservatory is at the end of its life, and it's a definite forerunner for, as I said, far from good but good from afar. It's one where if you was to drive up and drive past, it would look quite nice and tidy, but once you get up close to it, it's far from it. It's, as I said, it's pretty much at the end of its life, unfortunately. And I made this very clear to the customer that it's nearly on its way out, and that basically it's, it could do with a new roof to it, and it's just one of them that at some point it's going to need work, and also it's not going to be back to what it was. And I think managing expectations is so important. It's something that you've got to do basically straight from the beginning, because there's nothing worse than doing a job for somebody and the customer thinking, oh, it's gonna, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it because they think, oh yeah, my garden's a right mess, but it's gonna be nice, it's gonna look amazing, it's gonna look brand new, and it doesn't. And often, so garden tidy ups, where it's been a jungle, well, it's not going to look the best. The lawn is going to be suffering, the lawn's going to take a long time to recover. Yes, we can speed things up, bit of feed and regular cutting, but it's going to look a little bit ropey. Same with lawn renovations. You're pretty much going to make the lawn look even worse than what it was at the start, for it to then look even better over time. And you've got to tell the customer, there's no two ways about it. The customer, isn't going to know, or isn't going to think, oh, this is going to look shit. You need to sort of basically let them know that it's going to sort of take time for it to be, optimal. And especially with like scarification, I find that's the service that I offer, that I'm always telling people that it is going to look bad, it is going to look rubbish, but give it time and it will look a lot better. As I said, last thing you want is to do a job or take a job on, and the customer is going to be looking at it and thinking, bloody hell, it looks worse than when it began. And you can't blame them in a way. Most people I work for have never had gardeners in the past. They also have never had the service that they're asking for done. It's like as if a friend says, oh, you want to look at scarifying it, and they'll ring you up and they'll say, oh, my lawn needs scarifying. You'll go and you'll tell them, and they'll be like, oh, so what actually is it? And you'll guide them through it, so to speak. And it's, oh, bloody hell, yeah, okay, yeah, you sure that'll work? And yes, it will, and all that. And as I said, you don't want to sort of take it on and then they come back and it's all brown and or less than green, should I say, or it's looking a bit ropey. So as I said, managing expectations. Same with hedge reductions. I often find them are a little bit on the tricky side, because anything conifer based, again, is a pain in the arse, because you are, conifers, in my experience, they grow so well and they like to be left. But if it is that, I don't know what it is, but sometimes you think, oh, you know what, I don't want to be alive anymore, and they just die. And then you've got conifers, even at home, we trim them regular, probably twice a year, light trim, don't hack them back. And a few of them have just died, whether they just have an age span or, a life, and it's just reached the end of its life, I don't know. So as you can imagine, it is frustrating. And even the same with, conifer reductions or pushing back, you've got to, because customers will say, oh yeah, just take 6 foot back. Well, that's going to be really into the core of it, and it might kill it. Why? I don't want the conifers to die, or I don't want them never to come back. So again, you've got to manage the expectation. The last thing you want to do is go to fix a problem but end up creating a problem. And like I said, it is very important that you, well, as I said, manage them expectations. Just the same with reductions. You know, I always, when a customer says, or especially if they're very keen on having it cut to a certain height for a certain reason, you know, I will always sort of say to the customer, you know, what is the line? Where do you want it to, you know, do you want it to be straight from here? Because trust me, if you look at it from the customer's window and you look at it from the front door, you know, it might be different, or it might look different depending on which way round you look at it. But I'll be honest with you, that's going into semantics. Pretty much you're cutting it down to where it's been cut before, or the new growth, you're following the line. But if a customer has you to cut it for a certain reason, I did one the other day, customer says it was bang on straight from, and it was so weird, it was like turning your curtains inside out. It was bang on straight from her front door looking out, so it looked really nice. But the customer for some reason wanted it bang on straight, as if you're looking outside into her property. And I was like, are you sure you want to? You know, as I say, it's like turning the curtains inside out, so the decorations on the outside. And she's like, yeah, it just looked odd as you drive up to the property. I'm like, well, it's going to look even odder when you're looking out and one edge is bang on straight and the other one's like off at an angle. But that's what she wanted, and that's what was delivered. In the end, it didn't look too bad, but you know, and again, you've got to sort of work that out and find if that's what they want first, you know, and that's what she wanted. So as I said, managing expectations, so important. This conservatory job, as you can see, or depending at which point, it did turn out very well, it did go very well. The customer was happy, and it didn't look too bad in all fairness. There was a couple of bits of sort of, you know, wear on it that need addressing, point that out. And that's another thing as well, is if you spot something that's going to create a problem, let the customer know. Don't just carry on. And I'm not, this is the best example, by the way. It's very rare when I'm out gardening that there's good examples of this. You know, most of my work is simple, so this is why I picked this conservatory to sort of illustrate this point. But if it is that you come across anything that's going to make the end result problematic, shall I say if you discover something or something happens, well, let the customer know as soon as. I noticed, I don't know if I highlighted it on the video, but one of the panes, the top of it is blown out, so there's actually a hole and the moss is covering it. And I showed the customer as I started to uncover it, so you know, you can tell that it's not been me doing it. You know, you can see that the moss is there, you know, covering it and all that. And I showed him. And another thing as well, this is another reason I did this video, was I knew this conservatory is pretty knackered, so I wanted video evidence of me being careful of it. So you can see me brushing it very lightly. You can see that I've done it all from a ladder, I've not climbed on it. You know, you can see all of this that's going into it. As I said, this video, as much as it's for the customer, it's to cover my back as well. So I'll leave you with the rest of this video. So have a good day, guys. Keep on gardening. So, cracking on. Roof cleared, gutters cleared, and all that moss needs to come up, so we'll get that up and clear. So I'm going to spray this stuff onto here and then get it all looking nice and tidy.